Welcome back to Now Nintendo, where we cover the latest Nintendo news you should know. And you should know that no DLC will be included with the Nintendo Switch 2 enhanced version of the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Alongside the full reveal of the Nintendo Switch 2, Nintendo announced several Switch 1 games such as Zelda Breath of the Wild, which will be heading to Nintendo Switch 2 as enhanced versions of the games with additional content. However, the Nintendo Switch 2 edition of Breath of the Wild specifically won't actually be the full game experience. Yesterday, a Nintendo spokesperson confirmed to IGN that the Switch 2 edition of Breath of the Wild won't include the previously released expansion pass DLC. So whilst Zelda Breath of the Wild will include the original release, as well as the enhancements designed specifically for Nintendo Switch 2, all on one cartridge, the DLC won't be included. This is particularly disappointing from a preservation perspective. Anyway, the Nintendo spokesperson confirmed that rather than being on the Nintendo Switch 2 cartridge, it will of course be available to purchase separately. The Nintendo Switch 2 edition of the game itself will cost around $70, but the DLC will cost an additional $20, bringing the total cost of the enhanced version of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild to a whopping $90 if you want the full gaming experience on the Nintendo Switch 2. Of course, I should remind you that for those who already own the original Switch 1 game, can simply play that version on the Switch 2 and purchase the enhanced upgrade separately if needed, along with the DLC if desired, lowering the cost significantly. Furthermore, Nintendo Switch Online Plus Expansion Pass members will get the enhanced version upgrade for Switch 2 at no extra cost through their membership, but that doesn't apply to the DLC unfortunately. For those wondering, Breath of the Wild will feature 60 frames per second at a higher resolution, along with other visual enhancements and faster loading times. Outside of the game, there is also additional Zelda content available through Nintendo Switch Online app that will help you navigate Hyrule and track down those Koroks. The Nintendo Switch 2 edition of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild launches alongside the Nintendo Switch 2 on June 5th. If you want to find out exactly what's on Nintendo Switch 2 cartridges, check out this next video. Thanks for watching.